My name is Thomas Curry. I'm a senior systems administrator here at ISP and ChatComm, and I've been working for ISP for 1 year and just over 8 months.
Can you tell us a little bit about your career or personal background?
Sure, absolutely. So I originally started my career off in finance and accounting. That's what I went to school for initially. I worked as a broker for a few firms until about 2009. That's when the industry took a major hit. And at that point in time, I had a few colleagues that were working inside for different government agencies at the county and municipal level. And that's when I was referred to Broward. And I started off there working for the Department of Transportation before moving on and advancing to the Office of Communication, where we supported different agencies such as the Emergency Operations and 311. And due to various projects, I started taking on different roles. It was a pretty dynamic position where I actually went back to school for information technology, and I was given the opportunity to join the project management team for some implementation stuff there. And I spent 6 years pretty much getting involved with the different agencies and how they work and the interworkings of the county government.
How did you learn about ISP? What made you apply for a job here?
So I was actually relocating to Georgia with my family, and this will be, like I said, I went back to school for information technology, and I wanted to be into a fully tech position. So I came up here and I applied for a job, but I wanted something that had the same kind of free reign I had at Broward. I was able to be a critical thinker and had a lot of free reign as far as creative thinking and processes. And when I saw this job position, it seemed to be very dynamic also, almost too dynamic. And so I came and interviewed here, and the interview back and forth was very encouraging because it seemed like the job had a lot of room for growth.
Can you explain your role and what you do on a day-to-day basis?
As a senior system administrator, I have a team of 3 that I supervise, that I manage, and I have 2 administrators and 1 help desk supervisor. And we support the dispatch center floor, and we also do everything from administer the servers. We work with the vendors for the different computer-aided dispatch and tech equipment, the radio, and we also do advanced reporting, querying different data, and a lot of database administration.
What have you learned from being in your position? Has there been anything surprising? Any favorite parts?
Coming from Broward, I've worked on one end of the spectrum. I've never worked on the public safety side of the spectrum. So it's very interesting and intriguing working with the different police systems, the 911 radio. That's relatively new to me. So for me, that's probably a big career change. And also me now finally being fully submersed in tech, I spent a lot of time studying and growing in that area.
Can you explain what it's like to be in a leadership role? What advice do you have for someone trying to achieve a leadership position here at ISP?
So I've been in leadership roles before, but I've probably at that point already been a subject matter expert. This is the first time I've come into a role and been put into side leadership where I wasn't already a subject matter expert. So I'm learning about the different, in tech, you almost never the subject matter expert for everything. You learn how to manage those teams and get them to work together in cohesion and be productive.
Before you started at IXP, did you want to pursue a public safety career?
It's funny you mention that. So before I actually moved to Georgia, I was already planning on moving over to the Broward Sheriff's Office and working in a public safety complex. So I've never worked in public safety before, but I feel like my fate was always destined for that because I was going to take a tech position for Broward Sheriff's Office. I had a couple colleagues that were working for different deputies and sheriff sergeants that I knew personally who referred me over there. And so I may have gotten to public safety already, but this is my first public safety position.
What has kept you working here at IXP?
So the same thing that keeps me here, the same thing that brought me here in the first place. The job seemed to have a lot of opportunity for growth, and I want something that wasn't monotonous, that had a lot of different dynamics to it. And this job definitely has that. It's a lot of room. You're encouraged to provide suggestions and room for development and growth. Your opinion's highly valued here, and this very dynamic position. And as far as what you bring to the table, you can bring different avenues. You can actually expand the business, so you can become a real asset. And so that's highly valued here from the ownership on down. It's a very good organization.
What are your future professional goals? Have they changed since being here at IXP? Do you feel like you'll have the opportunities to attain them here?
So I would say that I've always decided when I got into tech that I've always wanted to eventually provide my own type of service. And I would say that IXP has actually made that more of a reality and a possibility because with managed services, there's opportunity for you to expand your technical acumen and be a resource. So I can be a managed service resource. I can be a technical resource. And so I would say that I now am more inspired than ever to expand my technical acumen so I can provide additional resources and be an asset.
Do you have any advice for someone looking to work at IXP?
I will say that I look around the building, and in very rare instances, you'll see this. I don't think there's a single person in administration and even two of the IT staff that start off on a dispatch center floor. They identify talent and they promote it. So it's definitely a place you can go to and grow.
Well, thank you so much for the interview. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.